stating currently we are in good standing with the Fed state tax board and that our insurance coverage remains in effect. He reported that CALB's present balance at Chase Bank is $1,100. He also, Efren Luna briefly defined our membership levels and costs, which starts at $25 a year for students. A question was posed: who do members pay fee to? Victor Ladd, treasurer, established as person assigned to collection and receive allocation after short entry from completion by new and renewing members. Board of Directors update. We've returned occupying the bungalow building art space after brief closure. Mike Wiley, CALB Executive Director and owner of the property, approved our ability to resume access to the space presently since the intended lease payer was rescinded recently. CALB spaces. New booking requirements for the space is being re-evaluated. After stress that members also continue to seek pop-up gallery spaces such as the recent Day of the Dead event on time. City support. Afrin summarizes 2016 State of City address held at Terrace Theater, now on YouTube. Mayor Garcia announced to initiate 1% of the budget to be permanently allocated to the arts. Clarification of the 1% report given by Victoria Bryan, Executive Director of Arts Council for Long Beach, stressing that there is the process of approval in which the initiative report submitted must go through City Council meetings in order to vote on its acceptance. If the vote passes, then the report must go through the City Manager's Office for review, whereby a final report submission must be voted on for full approval. Members were urged to be aware of updates and to attend the City Council meetings as the art measure gets placed on the agenda. Best of Long Beach Award. Efren proudly announced that many CALB members were nominated for the various arts categories in the Long Beach Post contest and its final vote count listed under performing artists, musicians, artists, galleries, and art advocates. The outcome had impressive results. Upcoming opportunities. Lena Gonzalez of First District City Council, report by Efren of his recent correspondence with her stressing that members stay tuned to upcoming newsletters from her district about new art proposal projects. Successful events recently included the Day of the Dead on Pine Avenue, with CALB members participating in live art during the event. Live painting and alternative venues. Tonight's event at the Federal Bar with Efren and other CALB members to be participating live artists. Taiwan Cultural Exchange Program with Roger Abea, assigned to the project since last year. Follow-up report due date by October 2016 for initiation, in which travel and expenses will be more defined between individuals and families applying for the cultural exchange. Other details will include info about sponsors and educational institutions. Floor given to members related to recent art grant and a new documentary film release. Paula Malcolm relayed her Night Cities Challenge grant proposal entry related to mobilization of fine art photography exhibitions in various areas of the city to raise awareness of our marine environment and promote civic engagement. Though not accepted as a finalist, Paula shared her interest to continue the pursuit of locating art spaces in the community, including locations such as Made in Long Beach as potential sites for future exhibitions. In closing, attention was called to photographers that received recognition through recent awards. Denise Duke, present at the meeting, 2015 CALB exhibition at Mola. Jennifer Abbott announced the premiere of a new release of her documentary film entitled The Passionate Pursuit of Angela Bauer, scheduled February 18, 7:30 p.m. at Art Theater 2025 East 4th Street. She supplied flyers of the event and also introduced Angela Bowen to the members. received a standing ovation as members acknowledged her presence. Close of meeting at 8:30 p.m. Efren Lula closed the meeting with best wishes and encouraged members to continue to share collaborations with each other. And that's it. Thank you.
I believe Efren's going to take the floor. You got the agenda for that?
Yes, thank you everyone for being here. We appreciate you guys continually supporting CALB and as we move with new updates. Victor, do you want to go over our mission? No?
No, because I'm rewriting it.
Okay. So basically Cultural Alliance in Long Beach is to support working artists in Long Beach and provide exhibition opportunities for artists in all fields of art. And so that's our mission as a Cultural Alliance. We talked about our updates, which is, it was read in the minutes that we're in good standing, our nonprofit, all of that is in good standing. Memberships are being accepted. Now you can get an application from Victor and become a member or renew your membership. $25 for students, $50 in general, and there are other plans listed on the application. Okay, let's see. So on the applications that we're updating, you'll see the booking requirements. Booking requirements will include things like cleanup fee, just to make sure that our gallery is returned in good standing, and we continue to have exhibitions, quality exhibitions. The spaces, as we mentioned in our prior meeting, we cannot book more than 3 months in advance. As it was mentioned that the space is, it's a vacant space if we weren't here, so it's still available for lease. So to provide for that, we have a 3-month booking space where we can't book more than that, just to be on the safe side. We can still use the madhouse, but we can still use it, we can still use this, and we can still, as an organization, have pop-up exhibitions or curate or exhibit outside of these 2 spaces. So festivals. Memberships are required because that covers our insurance. As a member, we are covered through Partners Parks. And that's very important. We cannot have a show if you're not a member, but that's the basic reason for the membership. It'll cover you as an artist. So that's something.
And just to kind of piggyback on that, the the insurance under Parks and Recs also covers, as long as you're a member and you, let's say, have another exhibit somewhere else or something like that, as long as you're a member of CALB, I checked with Parks and Recs, you're still insured. Let's say if you do something down at the library, you still fall under our insurance. So you're covered, just to let you know.
So I think Martin was asking about that, and he's going to do a performance in the library or something like that, and so I'm glad clarify that, Victor. So can they get I don't know, like a paper from you, or
working on
they?
the insurance form. I think he's going to give you the next week sometime.
Yeah, and what happens for each individual that wants to do that, what we do is the Parks and Recs will actually draw up a form that will have the person's name on it and all that. It won't just be a generic form we just hand you. It will specify that,
Right.
Efren Luna or Keith, Lily has insurance under blah, 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 and is covered, and this amount, and things like that. So, and it takes, from the time you tell us, let's say we're gonna do something, it takes about a week for us to get it, so we have to know in advance.
sooner we know, the sooner we can, Victor can give you back that paper. So that's very important. I mean, it's like, you get insurance, right? So it's a good deal for a whole year, right? So
Yep.
it's a good deal. We mentioned that CALB can continue to participate in other events. Recently, we've been doing we did the Live After 5 in September, which was light painting. Some of us did light painting, and about every other month, we're doing something at the, it's presented by the Long Beach Fun Fest, and it's light painting at the Federal Underground. I put the call outs on social media. If you follow us on Facebook, you can join us for light painting. That's what that gig is. And city support for the arts, as many of you know, that a lot of changes, good changes are happening. The mayor announced a 1% support for the arts. So they're going to actually, the city manager got approved to investigate where that funding can come from. So from the last time city met about that, he has 90 days to come back with a plan or feasibility report. So it looks like it's probably going to happen. We just have to keep on showing up to City Hall, talking to our city council members. When you get a chance, when you see them, just mention, hey, support the arts, and you can email them. Any of you guys saw the newsletter that we sent out recently? Some of you guys might have seen it. So we're gonna start sending out a newsletter. We're hoping we can continue to do that at least once a month. Have general announcements as to what's happening in the arts. If there are any people that would like to volunteer and help out with the newsletter, the last one I did myself, I'm not an English person, so it took me about 7 hours of writing this document. But I think it's important that that we inform our members and you guys serve that. That's a good way to organize, right? The more information we have, the more we can do. So if any of you is interested in helping to be part of that newsletter, just let me know, because we have a MailChimp account where we can use that and continue to. So city support for the arts, it's happening as we speak. We have Lina Gonzalez is asked me to curate her office for art exhibitions. So I don't know all the details, but I'm going to be meeting with her office sometime this week, and I'll be announcing an artist call out, and this is going to be for all artists in Long Beach. The artists who reside in First District are going to have priority, followed by Long Beach artists. My vision for that is that we exhibit good quality work and well presentable. It's going to be in their office at City Hall, and there's going to be people coming in like always, other government officials, and so I'll give you more details about how many pieces and things like that. But I would definitely, and this is a call that's going to be put out through her newsletter as well as our social media, and more details to be announced about that. So that's happening, city support for the arts. Some of you guys may know the recent announcements with the Arts Council for Long Beach appointing a new executive director. So, they also expanded their board to be more, to have more diversity. They meet every first Monday of the month. It's very important that you guys show up to their meetings on first Mondays. Go to their website and they have 2 meetings that are public meetings. One of them is Mondays, every first Monday of the month, and they have it at various locations. So it's kind of hard to follow them You have to actually go to their website and find out where they're meeting. The reason why it's important to be on top of the Arts Council or what their activities are, because their funding comes from the city, which is you guys, the taxpayers. Or not all of it, but most of the funding is city funding. So it's important that we're aware of what's happening. So be at their meetings. They also have another meeting they call, I forgot what they call it, but it's more of a general meeting with, I forgot what it was called.
It used to be on Thursdays.
Right, there's a Thursday one, but it's announced on their website, and if you don't see it there, just call them up and say, hey, and they're very accessible. The other person you want to talk to about grants is Alyssa DeSchmidt, and she used to be a CALB member, so she understands, community grassroots organizations. She'll walk you through the process of grants. The micro grants are still available. I believe it's the 15th of the month when they accept the applications. Don't quote me on that, but
Yeah.
call Lisa.
It's a 15.
The 15th, okay. So anyone can apply for those. It's up to $1,000, between $200 and $1,000. And it's, from what I understand, it's a matching grant, so if your plan or your event has X amount of budget, they can potentially match that up to $1,000. Lisa will tell you all the details, but she's really cool and accessible. Like I said, she started as a CALB member. So that's as far as the city support that I can think of. If any of you guys want to add to what you guys know, maybe you guys some of the candidates for second district, and Paula, I don't know if you want to mention about what the candidate that support for the arts that you mentioned on social media. I haven't met her, so if you'd like to share with us, that would be great. And maybe Roger can tell us about, Eric Gray has mentioned to you about the arts. I mean, I haven't had an in-depth conversation with them, but if you guys would like to.
Their forums tomorrow at different locations.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to the one that's close to where I live
So they have a forum tomorrow?
tomorrow night. It's,
Then both of them are going to be there, right? Actually, all three of them. Oh,
so
perfect.
that way you make up your mind. But yeah,
Awesome.
I have, my favorite, and you do. And I brought something about her, because she is a business person that works in the arts, has grown up here. She's Latina, and she's just a very personable person. Anybody would like to read her vision statement.
It's really cool that, these people are accessible. You can talk to them about what their plans are for the arts. In Cal, we talked about, like in the past, last year, we talked about our big vision was to establish an arts and cultural affairs department that would be inclusive of all of the artists, community, Long Beach. The Arts Council is a private nonprofit. So just remember that, they recently announced that they're not following the Brown Act because according to them, it doesn't apply to them. A lot of us don't feel like that, but it's something to think about, and you have to be proactive, and we just like you to continue to be an advocate for the arts. When I first joined CALB, there was this, advocacy. And I didn't really meet any of the advocates that I can think of. I think one of them was from LA, and I haven't seen them in years. But we just like you to continue that if you can. That's all the input I have for city support for the arts. Show up to I'll try to make the forum for the candidates.
I think I have a copy, so if anybody wants to see it at the end of where this form is.
Oh, okay.
But there's lots of other forms in other parts of the city that could be closer to where you live.
running?
I think the most important part about knowing the people we're running now is whoever wins in the future will know us and will back us up regardless of the candidate. So I think it's important to know our candidates right now.
Yeah,
You know,
and
you know,
not just say that, hey, I'm just voting for you.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
they know your presence is gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, yeah.
They
That's a
still
good
know
point.
you.
That's a really excellent point, actually, because our mayor, before he was mayor, he would show up to art exhibitions and, you know, a lot of the artists met him because of the art scene. So it's a good thing to, it's an excellent thing to do, actually, to engage with them. And I mean, there are fellow residents as well, right? So, any other, do you guys have any thoughts, comments?
Any concerns? Anybody
Concerns?
any things you want to talk about, or things you're concerned about? We're here, especially we had a board meeting, we have new regulations on when you apply to use the building, that you have to go by. You have, from now on, you got to pay a fee to be able to use the building for an event, a deposit, which I think we're still in the negotiating on what we're going to come up with. So the cleanup fee, because in the past, people were cleaning up, taking nails off the walls, and wasn't doing what they're supposed to do, so we figured, but you'll get your deposit back at the end of the event. So that way we'll make sure that you will do what you're supposed to do, that you won't have to work so hard, and do it, and also on time. If your event starts at 10 in the morning and you say it's going to end at 12, please be prepared to leave in at 12 because we want to be on time. A lot of events we had in the past went over, and people are volunteering to do these things here, and they do have a life. So we want to make sure you guys, we want to be fair to you guys because, you know, what you do in the community kind of affects us. If it's a great event, if you have a great turnout, it's good for you. If you make a profit, it's good for you. If CALB makes a profit, it's good for us, but we have to be very disciplined on what we do. We got to make sure we're on time. And if you're going to have an event, let us know ahead of time, put your information in early, let us know what your goal and objective is, so we know. What we used to do, we used to use the word "you're free." So get this out your mind, there's no such thing as free anymore. When people come to that door, they'll pay a $5 admission automatically, and that's cheap. You go to other places, they charge you $15, $20, and that doesn't cover the fee at the bar. So that way we can pay. If we do that, and we do it consistently, and you guys have your shows and they be good, we give the foundation that owns this business money every month, and they will be looking at to shut us down. So we always have a place to be at. That's the goal. What happened is they're paying 3 years of light and water and bills here. I guess gas too, because that's hot water they have in there. So they're looking at a loss. So we got to change our attitudes and look at, you know, if you're as good as you're supposed to be, and I think I like Dave's show. Dave had 250 people in attendance at his last show he had here. If you have 250 people at $5, how much is that? Plus the bar. So you should be able to, if you have a gas show or recital, wherever you're having, if you have 80 people at $5, that's $400-something. So that covers CALB percentage, and that covers the percentage that you can make. So I've been sitting here watching at Shoreline, same thing was at Shoreline. We had a couple groups that came in and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They charged at the door, they made their money, they were happy. But I had a lot of people that come in here and they expect CALB to foot the bill. But CALB, we just got a bank account going. We want the bank account to be busy so we can get better lighting, we can get better equipment here and stuff. And also, from now on, you have to rent the sound equipment. The money goes to CALB, goes in the CALB budget, so we can keep up our equipment. If we blow out a speaker, we can get a speaker fixed. If we need lighting for the stage and stuff like that, we need lighting for the stage. So all the money goes to CALB. And in the future, Efren has talked about a stipend for somebody that's curating a show, and they would get paid for curating the show. But we first, as Victor is a stickler on the budget, we have to make money to be able to pay you the stipend for the show. So before Karen did the opposite, she's paying and we're deleting, we're going the opposite way. So
exhibitions, just write a proposal, explain, you know, what you're doing, and we want artists to have a curator, you know, because a lot of times it's not the same thing, you know, and a curator usually considers the way the art's going to be exhibited, and it's a way to show respect to the art, you know, because a lot of these artworks take a long time to make, and it's a lot of effort, and it's unfair for the artist and art to be shown improperly, you know, or not properly. When you have a show, there's a curator, you know, and someone that knows what they're doing. If you guys don't have one and you need help, some of our members are experiencing that. We just, you know, specify that you don't have one, and if you do, put their references there. And one of the things we want to do is elevate the level of exhibitions. You know, Long Beach is getting a lot of attention recently with the murals around town. International artists coming to town recently. The murals at the A-Lot, I think one of them just finished. Very famous artist, the one with the eyeballs, the one with the place, really cool. You know, so Long Beach is on the map as far as like international art. And, you know, we want to represent, well, we represent you guys, you know, so elevating the level of quality, and we're here to support each other. So, you know, just write a proposal and send it to any one of us, and then we'll look at it and see what you have and maybe what we can help you with, and, you know, make something happen.
Because can I add something on
Yeah,
that?
sure.
One of the things that me and Karen kind of didn't see eye to eye with is that when he talks about quality and elevate CALB as a gallery, was that Karen didn't like the jury work, you know, or have a curator that, you know, to say, hey, you know what, we can't use that, you don't have to tighten that up, or give me something else. People just bring in whatever they had. We had a lot down in Shoreline. They would just bring in anything, and we weren't going to accept just anything. You know, don't come in with work that's kind of half finished. Okay, people don't want to see that. Okay, when people come up to the gallery, they want to see professionals. They want to see good work. If you walk into a gallery and you see, you know, canvases that are, you know, sprayed on the side or half complete, or just you know, they don't look good, professional. So we will jury work. We will look at it and say, hey, you know what, or the curator will, you know what, yeah, that's pretty good, or, you know, we'll take that one, that one. That's where we're going to look more professional.
And these are galleries that's going to be like 2 or 3 weeks long. We're not talking about a one-day show some people have just to come in and rent the place for one day.
Right.
That's a little bit different. But you're talking about somebody having a show for 3 or 4 weeks, or going to be hanging on the wall, and people going to be, you guys open the door and they're going to be coming through. And you have to have your tag, how much you want for that painting. Because people come here all the time. Somebody says $350. Oh, I came $150. No, the man said $350. So people always try to talk you down on your price. So it's very important that you make your labels and put your labels on the wall and have your phone number so they can call you. And if they like that painting, because sometimes you guys are working, you're not here, and somebody likes that painting, and I'm not going to take the responsibility because I'm mostly here all the time. I'm not going to take the responsibility of selling it. They're going to call you, they're going to meet you down here, and they'll put the money in your hands.
And that's why
all right?
we need a curator, right? So those are details that the curator will address: the labeling of the work, providing information, contact information, setting up the right lighting, the right height, and things like that, you know, so that your art is well represented. And, you know, that's what's happening, guys. I don't have any more info. If any of you like to share upcoming events or,
Well, we didn't do this yet. Everybody didn't do this except I see some faces I don't know.
we can skip that part.
Yeah,
Come
but
on, man.
you guys came in a little late, brother.
Oh, I missed that part.
Okay. Your name, sir?
Matt, I'm a photographer. I do film. And I'm also Los Angeles Photo Festival founder. We do international exhibition. I live here around 7 years in Long Beach. try to put some things in order. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. And your name, sir?
My name's Roger, photographer, specializing in 360 photography and 360 video.
Your name, man?
I'm Paula. I do painting, abstract, representational, mixed media, watercolor.
My name's Art, designer, painter, photographer, writer, carpenter.
I'm Steven. I'm a visual artist, drawing, painting, sculpture.
I'm Dave Randall, painter, event coordinator, curator, also do a lot of different things.
I'm Charisse, dance, PR for the arts and technology and SMB, small businesses. That's me. I run a blog that supports like independent artists, film, basically art, music, dance, film. This is my son Honor. He loves to draw. Not yet quite an artist, quite yet.
I'm Anne, and I'm the founder and the artistic director for the Long Beach Community Theater. My daughter, Izzy, is over there.
I'm Juan Gomez. I'm a painter.
I'm Jim. I'm a photographer.
I'm Ramon, I'm a sculptor, painter.
I'm Joel, and I wish I just had a one-word thing, but I don't. I help run the children's theater. I do a lot of arts advocacy things, like mentor, raised a lot of musicians, and built a whole poly reggae scene out of Long Beach. And I'm the downtown representative now for the Long Beach Music Council, which was started by Eric Gray. And what else do I do? I don't know. I do a lot. I write a lot of grants. I write articles about music and things. And I don't know. I do a lot of art stuff.
The free market, you still involved with that?
I build community projects, so I have a lot of different nonprofit stuff. So one of the things is I do a lot of work in Whittier. We have a free store. Somebody gave us a building, so we have a free store and an artisan work lab, which will be like a co-working space. And I don't write grants for that. Store's open every week. But that's in Whittier. We try to do it in Long Beach, but Long Beach is very hard. But we still do pop-up events in Long Beach.
My name is Freddie Dilworth. I'm a musician from here in Long Beach. I've been playing shows and events around here for the last 10 years. I play with this band called Move. We've done some events over here before and over at the CALB on the shore. I also play with just a whole lot of bands throughout Long Beach and try to help organize stuff within the Long Beach rock scene. Me and a bunch of friends last summer put together a compilation CD and did a bunch of fundraiser stuff for it so that we could put 15 local bands on the CD and try to distribute that out to a bunch of people just to get some more awareness of local music going on. And that project was kind of put on hiatus so we could explore other avenues because CDs didn't seem like it was fun, but it may not exactly be as contemporary as it wanted to be. But yeah, me and my friends were looking for some more people to network with that could help us to really promote the Long Beach music scene since it's so tied into the art scene as well. I mean, to the visual art scene. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, me. I'm Sean. I thought we were good with that one. Photographer, thankful for Long Beach. Do a lot of representing old Long Beach, non-dated photos, things that the public don't see, as well as promoting the arts, the music scene, and just enjoying the fact that Long Beach has a localism, non-corporate.
And I'm Keith Willie. I'm the business manager for this facility here. So I open the door, close the door, and that's basically what I do. I'm on the board.
That's fine. I'm Victor. I'm the treasurer of the board. I'm a photographer, I'm an artist. I design frames out of marble tile instead of the traditional frame pictures. say ex-cop, so I just said ex-city employee. Everybody knows how to go. Retired, not fired. You know, I joined CALB because, you know, I wanted to, well, I started to want to, you know, get my work out there, but it came more and more where we were, myself and Keith, we were helping out Karen. And, you know, now that she stepped down because of illness, you know, we're on board to try to really, and I mean this, really elevate CALB to a lot better than what it was. Not saying it was bad, but we can do better. And that's what we want to do. We want to do better. We want to be, you know, a gallery that when you say CALB, people say, oh yeah, CALB. I was talking to a business owner in East Village today, and she was telling me that, well, you know, when people talk about they want to do something at the gallery, I always recommend you guys. And that's good. You know, someone else would recommend me to come down here and join CALB, or, you know, have some kind of exhibit. Can I keep going?
I'm
And another little thing is that, like you said, musicians, we have to come play down at Shoreline. We ran the Shoreline Gallery. And sometime in probably April, I'm going to put out a call. And even though we don't have the Shoreline place anymore, we still have a good connection with the manager down there. And what they have is they have a summer series where the band and musicians can play on the board. They call it the off boardwalk on the patio. And they pay the musicians or the band $350. So come April, I'm going to pull out, you know, and what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, we'll come down here and listen to your music. But it's something we weren't doing before until we were down there and we talked to them and we got some of the bands to play downstairs. So since we got good connections with them, we're going to see if they can play down there and get paid for it.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Hit me up. I know way too many musicians who'd love to do that. I would love to do that.
And even though we're doing things every 3 months, we still like suggestions on things that you would want to do or can do. Because, you know, our 3 months, it's just about up, so we're looking at the next 3 months. We have suggestions for shows and
come back with different things, doing different things with CALB, so they don't know what to do. That way, you know, we will get your opinion, because we can sit here and vote on things and talk about things, but you're the one that's doing the work. So your opinion is very valuable. Matter of fact, it's the most valuable to me, because you need to let us know what you feel about what's going on, the changes, if you don't like this, or what we can do to make it better, because we need your information. Just don't sit there and be like the commercial with Volvo or Crash Dummy. Just be kind of alive and tell us what's going on. So I don't want to be talking about, you know, I always tell the kids when I work with Boys and Girls Clubs, I don't want a bunch of crash dummies. I want someone to tell me what's going on. If you're sitting there and you're like robots and I tell you to do this and that, but you have an opinion. You have creativity in you that's got to come out. And we're not, our job is to bring that out and you to tell us. If you won't bring out your creativity, then it's not going to help us at all. So it's very important because you guys are artists, photographers, entertainers, so your creativity is the most important part of CALB. Simple. So that's why I came here, to have fun, and I like to joke a little bit, so you know how I am. Yes, Flo.
Well, I'm accustomed to bringing my partner into Shoreline Village, and we had a system down, and we rely on that same system as far as if you're curating a show for artists, you're gonna have to have them write, sign, and do you still have those forms, Victor?
Yes.
For each artwork, it's listed.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
name,
I mean, I have all mine from the last several months ago, and I thought that was a good system.
well, it is, and we do that because we need some kind of,
Written signature.
Written signature,
That's
you know,
more or less an agreement between the curator and the
Right.
artist and
And the
the
guidelines.
guidelines to follow.
and it also helps us to know who's painting that, who's painting this, and things like that. It just, and if we archive that stuff, and we go back later, sometimes if we want to do something in a year, say, hey, I have this
I
kind of
think you
show.
kept a copy and you gave a copy.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah.
with each artist submitted. Okay. With the proposal would be what, one sheet? Hey, I want to do this, this, and
Yeah, that's all. I mean, it doesn't have to be a long, you know, I mean, we require something that's long if we're talking
a
about,
description of a theme
Yeah.
or
well, something long is like, because I'm working on a thing now, and it has to be a long proposal because there are a lot of little things in there that, it's like a fundraiser thing. So there are a lot of things that have to be taken care of, but something like that you want to, for some kind of exhibit. Yeah, just, you know, a paragraph, let us know what's what.
My suggestion is the 5 W's, right? Like who, what, where, when, and why. Few images, you know, and then pretty basic. If you have more details, that's even better. But yes.
We got a show that we're thinking about doing, but it's coming up for Leap Day, February 29th. Is that too soon to have something here? Or you know?
Yeah, you just write a proposal, send it in, and the sooner you send it in,
Through email or handwritten or?
Well, you can deliver it to me,
email is probably better.
Okay.
So the CALB email, we have access to that, so it's on the, our website or
Is it
Facebook.
like a calendar of events so we could look to see like what's going on with CALB like throughout the
Well, all the events are posted on our Facebook events tab. So if it's something has been scheduled, it'll be right there. Right now, we only have like the parent and children classes and Maha's rehearsal and also adult classes on Sundays that are free, by the way, if any of you.
get your application for him, fill it out, and then put your idea on. First, fill the application out that you want to use the facility.
Okay.
So we know, and put the date that you want to use it and give it to him. And then on the website, like it says what you want to do, your goal and your objective, and then the beginning and the ending of what you want to do, then we'll be okay.
CalBArts@gmail.com.
Okay. And then are there certain days that are available and not available? Like is all
Sunday mornings. I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday art class from 4 to 6. But I can adjust the classes. We're in the backpack here.
We have rehearsals.
So the
Monday,
rehearsal.
Wednesday.
So just let us know. We adjust because we also can do our rehearsals and stuff over at the band house too.
So add your proposed dates and, proposed times, and then we'll see what we have, and kind of like a conversation, right, like, oh, I'd like to do it here, and then we'll, that's.
Jim had a question. He has been waiting for.
Well,
Hi, thanks, Maha. Two or three things, but first, Maha didn't introduce herself.
Us.
Somebody should introduce her if she won't do herself, but Maha's turn.
I'm the director of the resident dance company here. We basically dance, collaborate, have concerts, have classes, have community outreach, and participate in events in Long Beach and outside of Long Beach.
And no one has done more active participation with her performance than Maha and her group here at CALB
Thank
for the
you.
whole time. So she's major force. A couple questions. Who is that guy? I have a third question. Let's see. I don't hear anything about a membership yet, or much. I mean, one of the major things that Karen was, one of her major points was help people join. So, make it sound, let's make it sound easy, make it sound available. I know it's great that there was a space, even if it's somewhat temporary. But, let's try to get people to join. And who do we pay? How do we pay? We go online, we pay one of the board. How do we do that? That's another question. And then the third one is, the last meeting I was at, when we were at the Madhouse, a lot of the discussion was about this exchange idea, bringing artists here and sending artists outside from different countries, I think it was.
Taiwan Artist Exchange Program? Was that?
Well, you
The
tell
Taiwan
me.
exchange.
Yeah,
Is that something developed?
The problem we're having with that right now is that we don't have enough CALB artists that want to go. So if we can get more artists to go to Taiwan, for example,
Taiwan.
we can get that going. So if anyone's interested in that, just let me know. But as of now, I don't know if it's going to happen.
We need at least 6 artists, and the number might change, but basically the artists that are willing to go will house an artist from Taiwan, and then they'll switch
It's an exchange.
an exchange, yes.
That's,
Which will include an exhibition for both groups, as well as a workshop or class.
Is that info on the website, or how do you find it?
Right, it's something that right now it's you want to talk to Roger about it. We just want to get the 6 artists that are interested, and then move on and find out what the next step is with the guy that's curating this is from Taiwan Museum of Art, and he actually came to Long Beach, and I talked to him about it. So basically, if you guys are interested, it's cultural art exchange program.
Well, actually, there is a proposal that was started by Karen. Because I remember when she had a meeting here, and it's in our scan doc. So what I'll do is that I will pull that down. I will give it to you, because there were some things still in question about that, as far as whether the 6 artists would have to pay their own airfare, at least their own airfare. So there were some questions about that haven't been solved. So, and that's...
No,
They have to pay them. That was
They
so.
gotta pay them.
They pay
That's
them
the biggest
extra.
hurdle, because it's about an $1,800 round trip.
So what I'll do is I'll pull that down,
my side, how I see CALB is, I've been working for 20 years international as a photographer, and I worked in the United States the last 4 years with Apple and Microsoft as a building brand. And in that vision side, in that perspective, what I feel is what we're missing is CALB missing a branding. So I have an exhibition every year in Los Angeles downtown, and my website became 40,000 visitors around the world, and I have 30,000 members. I'm in the 4th year, and I spent $10,000 in my pocket, my credit card, and just paid the last year. So no one's giving no one's money before you started something to do. And today, every city wants us, they invite us to bring that whole exhibition. If you're talking about 100 different photographers around the world. And I'd like to be doing it in Long Beach, but here's the problem in Long Beach. We don't do enough the branding. So I have a problem to explain, I have the problem to show the pictures about Long Beach in Germany, in Greece, in Turkey, in Italy. That's the point. If we can build the branding and make it more, a little bit more better to explain us with the every details, with the every cultural exchange. And my photography is more about cultural diplomacy. So what I do is I'm not doing realistic anymore photography shooting. What I'm doing is I do more stuff with cultural diplomacy and public diplomacy. This is my experience. And for that point, at that point, so photography is not just exhibition, it's not the frame, it's also at the same time in a language to speak each other with the different countries. And if you put different countries, then you have the money from the cultural department, not from your city. So for that reason, but we have to first explain us Long Beach, what it is, what CALB is. More colors, more speak, more details, more frames. I know there's a lot of great artists. I see it. I mean, I check in the Shutterstock, I check a different $1 million website. A lot of those people, they'll be writing or sketching in a Berliner Cafe or a Portfolio Cafe. They're uploaded in this amazing website. There's 7 amazing things there. But they're just there, just in the one table. So I would like to ask, what will it be, what can be, or what will be the next future steps to get to all these artists here? You know, not just few, how we can connect. Like for your Taiwan program,